Hi Team 315. Today we're going to be solving division problems, but we're going to be doing division of decimals by decimals. So both numbers are going to have a decimal in them. We are going to be solving these with two steps. First, we need to find an equivalent problem for each, and then we will divide the equivalent problem to get our answer. So let's practice this together. First off, we're going to be using the number 5 and 5/10 divided by 1 and 1/10. We notice both of these have decimals, so we are going to need to find an equivalent problem. Now, when we find an equivalent problem, we need to move the decimal place the same number of times for each number. So I'm going to move my decimal point one place to the right. That's also the same as multiplying by 10. One place to the right for our new decimal. So our new number will be, our equivalent problem will be 55 divided by 11, because we moved our decimal place one space to the right for each. Now, we know that 11 goes into 55 5 times, because 5 times 11 equals 55. So our answer for this problem will be 55. And because we moved our decimal place the same amount for this equivalent problem, our answer will be the same. So we just solved for 5. It's so important for us to remember, you must move the decimal the same number of times for both. So as we moved it one time for our dividend and one time for our divisor, we will do that every time, the same amount. Now, this was our second step. We'll do this again for another number. So I have the number 1 and 92 divided by 16 hundredths. Now, to make each of these whole numbers, we need to move our decimal place 2 spaces to the right, which is the equivalent of times 10 squared, or 10 to the second. So our equivalent problem will be 192 divided by 16 equals. Remember, we did move the decimal place the same number of times for both. Great. So in order to solve this, we can write this out as a partial quotient. We have 192 divided by 16. All right, so why don't we start out with times 10? It's a good way to start off with 16 times 10 will give us 160. Good mental math there. And we subtract 2, 3, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're left with 32. Now, I also know that 16 times 2 is 32. And we have no remainders. When we add up our partial quotients, we get 12. And that will be our answer. So we remember we found the equivalent problem here by moving our decimal point, and we divided that equivalent problem, and there we have it. We'll do one more example. First step, we'll be finding our equivalent problem, and second step, we will solve division. Okay, so we have the number, our dividend is 4 8/10 divided by 6/10. Now we need to find an equivalent problem. So we'll move our decimal place one space to the right for both, remembering the same for both numbers. If we move it one for the dividend, we have to do the same for the divisor. One space to the right, one space to the right, and we can rewrite our problem is, our equivalent problem is 48 divided by 6. And our answer will be 8 because 6 times 8 is 48. Checked our work and we're good to go. All right, great job, guys.